What's going on, guys? Today we'll be doing a Q&A. I tweeted out and had you guys send me over some questions. I feel like it's something I've been wanting to do for a minute. Definitely answer some questions that I probably have never talked about in the interview, or like some new stuff like talking about champs or my teammates or how we're feeling, about life stuff, what's going on in my life. I feel like I picked some good ones. I'm going to try to like answer the question in a way of like in my head thinking like another question similar was asked so I can answer both, because I feel like there's a lot of like repetitive questions just asked in like a different way. So I kind of want to like try to answer them in a way of like answering both questions without actually pulling up both questions. But yeah, we're gonna get started. Like I said, got a bunch of questions I feel like will be good, maybe juicy, who knows. You gotta watch the rest of the video to figure out, but let's get started. So let's start with your CDO pal. He's gonna love that. Well, Alex, I found out your name, Alex. We're gonna start with Alex, or CDO pal, and he asked me, if you could be one character in the Star Wars universe, who would you pick and why? I've thought about this a long time. I feel like people will be like, oh yeah, Kylo Ren, like you'll pick Kylo Ren instantly. But I'm kind of weird, because like in reality I'd pick like something like R2D2, just because I feel like I'm out the way, but I'm also there, like being like I'm noticed, but I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not that person. But if I actually had to pick somebody, I'd actually probably pick Darth Sidious. Just being, you know, super powerful, being like a part of the bad side, you know, I feel like is like one of the coolest things. I feel like people like to hate the bad, like you're kind of drawn to hate the bad side in like a lot of the movies with obviously good and bad sides, but in Star Wars for sure, I feel like you are. But I find Darth Sidious to be super powerful. I find him cool. I find his whole arc of him, like, you know, I guess his villain arc of him like being like becoming senator and like stuff like that, is super cool. And I feel like him being, you know, behind lines of like the Jedi and finessing them kind of is super cool. So yeah, like my favorite character in Marvel, favorite villain is Loki. Super mischievous, just I wouldn't say stab people in the back, because I feel like I don't stab people in the back, but I just like the cool, like powerfulness of like being sneaky and stuff like that. It's from Beard Official. Who has been the most influential teammate of yours, as in who has taught you the most about the game, life, or just how to handle the professional scene? So I feel like a lot of them actually refer to certain people. Like for example, how to handle the professional scene, I feel like it'd be like Lamar accuracy when I first joined the scene, because where I'm from, it definitely isn't appropriate. Of like our way of acting isn't super appropriate. It doesn't sound appropriate on like, you know, on when you're on camera or on stage or in our interview or stuff like that. Like we have a really strong slang from Memphis that's like super hard to understand. But not even just that way, but just like how I would tweet, how I'm like tweeting, what I'm liking, just stuff like that. Like Lamar taught me. But overall, I feel like it had to be like Slasher or Cap. Probably JCap, because I've been with JCap one of the longest as a player and as a coach. So as a teammate and as a coach, I feel like Cap's taught me a lot and helped me develop into the player I am today. So I'd say Cap for sure. There's a lot of more pieces to the puzzle, definitely, like enable all my teammates. I feel like I've learned a lot from all my teammates, but in a way of like the game, I feel like Austin has taught me a lot about the game. Slasher, I feel like in terms of like all the pieces, I feel like Cap overall, like how I approach the game, how, you know, I want to teach the game, or how I want to learn things, or how we go about it, how we play, stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like all three of them could be, well, were super influential to who I am today. My boy James Matone, he has favorite Monopoly piece. Classic only, no expansions. That's the thing though, I feel like the T-Rex came on a classic Monopoly board. I got him in the classic Monopoly board and it came with a T-Rex. So I don't know if that's expansion. I don't think it's expansion, because it came with classic. So I had to go classic. I'd have to say the shoe, but if the T-Rex counts because it came in a classic board, you know, I'm always had to go T-Rex. Monopoly is actually my favorite board game. Play it all the time. I actually have a super expensive Monopoly board that I bought, and I play with my boys all the time. But yeah, next question. This is from Raw the Monster. My boy Ronaldo Monster. Name one pet peeve for each one of your teammates and that you can't stand. He put can't stand in caps. In or out of game. Draws sometimes, and I've talked about this a lot. He can sometimes in maps just call out some BS. Just he's trying to call out everything in the world, this and that, while he's in the middle of gunfight, this and that. He'll be like, he just starts tweaking, and I'm just like, bro, shut up and get a kill. I'd say like that for draws. For Sam, I can't really think of any for Sam. I feel like me and Sam are like the trolliest ones on the team. Like I usually have a lot of fun with Sam in game. We don't really. I feel like our team doesn't hang out as much out of game when we're at home, just because we have our own little fam and people going on. But at first, obviously, it would Dill. It was like, damn, Dill flanking every life. But then he started making plays, just like his flank is just frying. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, like, you know what I mean? Like this guy's gross. Like I'm gonna have to let the flank rock. HP_Prodigy asks, being from Memphis, have you had any gamer you had to let the Memphis out on? I actually had a whole conversation with this with my pops recently, and like my boys and some friends. I feel like from Memphis, like I said, I grew up a certain way. I was a certain way for the longest time. Gaming was a way to get away from a lot of that stuff. But yeah, when I get mad, I'll let the Memphis out. But I feel like there's nothing in game unless somebody super disrespects me, as in like put their hands on me or disrespect my family and my face. Like a lot of that would like make that side of me come out. And I feel like a lot, even with the pros. I mean, I'm not super good friends with every pro, but I feel like I at least have a respect with people that I won't disrespect them to the point where like we'd have to fight. You know what I mean? Like if I'm talking about the game, y'all disrespect your game because I mean it's about the game. But when it comes to life or family or stuff like that, put my hands on somebody, like that's nuts. But if there was ever a way to get the Memphis out of me, it'd be that way. Crucible Daily FX asks, 1 to 10, how's the GTR rate, and what else would you consider after owning it for some time? Listen. GTR is literally my dream car. There's not a single car in this world that I would get over the GTR unless I already have a GTR. Like if I have a GTR now, like I'll get a different car. I'll think about a different car, but GTR was always my dream car. It started the R34. The R35 grew on me really fast. Obviously the Skyline is, but R35 grew up on me really fast, and I love the car. It's fantastic. I mean, obviously fast. It's a fast car, but at the same time, like the handling on the car is crazy. One thing I know, I mean, I got in the car now. I mean, it's not really particular to a GTR, but the speakers in the car, nuts, like crazy. Sounds really good, but yeah, I mean, only thing I can think of recently is like taking into account like maintenance on the car, because there's recently where I'm having to do some maintenance on my car, and it's super expensive. And I feel like that's just one thing. I mean, I knew going into it, like, hey, on a nice car, you're gonna pay a lot of like some expensive maintenance if you want to get it done right, stuff like that. And I feel like there's definitely a lot of stuff to learn. Like if you're looking to get a GTR just to have it, keep it stock, I feel like there's not much to learn, because I feel like the car is pretty simple, easy. I read the manual all the time. But if you want to go out your way to make it into a beast, like a beast that it's supposed to be, I feel like you definitely need to do your research on a GTR. Or find a GTR specialist around you who can explain a lot of stuff to you, because there's a lot of stuff about the car that I didn't know, and it's stuff that you don't really need to know until you own the car. I feel like stuff like that, it's always gonna be something you can learn about the car. But overall, for me, I'd say the car, I mean, it's 10 out of 10. It's biasness for me, but like I said, my dream car. I haven't had any issues with it. Somebody asked, Dayscar asked, how did you and V meet? Also, who hit up who first? So if you don't know, if you're new here, V or Victoria is my girlfriend. We've been dating for almost 4 years now. And yeah, we're both from Memphis. I actually met her when we were at, I want to say stage 2, BO4, Columbus. We were in Columbus. At the time, well, I was like messing with girls at the time, but like it got to the point where like I was talking to one of these girls and they ghosted me, and I ended up chalking up females in general. I was just like, I don't want to date nobody. You know what I mean? I don't want no girlfriend. Girls ain't shit. And then one day I'm just scrolling on my phone and I get a message saying like, I could tell a girl followed you like on Instagram. I'm like, let me peep this. Like, And I click on the page and I see that she has like mutual followers. I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow her back. I look at her, she's cute. Like, I'm like, okay, hold on, she's kind of cute. Like, let me see what's going on. Let me peep the vibe. Let me see if she posts a boyfriend on the story. Like, let me maybe like a picture, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, let me chill. Let me fill it out for like a few days. And I could tell she like was into fashion and like into shoes and stuff like that, like me. So one day she posted her kicks. She posted her shoes. She had some UNC Jordan 1s. I remember she's a UNC Jordan 1. She posted them on a story, and I responded like fire, like, you know what I mean? I just responded fire. So if you want to consider that hitting her up, because at the time I wasn't like looking to date. I was just like, okay, she cute. Like, let me like feel the waters. Like, maybe I can like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, I was like, kicks fire. She responded like, thanks, da 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 da, and it I forgot what happened, bro. Like, she was just asking, like, she telling me to like send her back pictures like my kicks, stuff like that. And then I stopped talking to her for a day or two, and then she like hit me up again. I forgot how it went, but she definitely hit me up like the second time. We argue about it all the time. If you want to consider me saying her shoes are fire as a slide in the DMs, then we can. But yeah, that's basically how it went. Like I said, we're both from Memphis. And funny little quick story is that when I first started talking to her on like FaceTime and stuff like that, she was like, hey, like, where you from? Like, you're from Memphis, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Memphis. I'm like, I'm in Columbus right now. And she's like, oh, okay, like, you have any family in Memphis? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, she's basically talking about what she does for work, and she does nails. And I'm like, oh, like, my sister does nails. And she's like, who's your sister? Like, where does she work? And I'm like, she works at this shop. And she's like, oh, that's your sister, Courtney. And so she basically worked with my sister for the longest time. She actually did my mom's nails for the longest time, and I didn't even know. Small world. Neester? I don't want to say your name. I would hope it's Neester. It says, you seem to grow a fantastic partnership with Draza over the last few seasons. What is it about Zach's personality and style of play that makes you feel so comfortable on the map? P.S. It's an absolute pleasure to have you represent LA Thieves and 100T over the years, kid. Appreciate you for the last part. For me with Zach, I instantly grew like a level of respect when we first picked him up on OGLA, and he pulled up the scrims with literally the most passion I've ever had, like a player like show ever. And granted, he was trying out for a pro team at the time, but it's like the comms are on point. He put his all into that scrim, and so I've always had a small little level of respect for him, but I could tell like really quickly that he understood the game, how I understood the game, and he thought about the game how I thought about the game. And in like certain like situational plays, he would make similar plays to what I would like make. And so in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I had a pops, I'm finna be a pops. This is my son. I'm finna like breed this guy into a great player. I can see he has the talent. He just needs a mentor. But at the time, like I said, I've always respected Zach, and I thought Zach was gross. He's been good. He's a top talent. The guy lives and breathes passion. So over the years, I mean, we just started hanging out more, doing more fun things. I'm trying to get him more culture, get him more comfortable on the team. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing for sure, is like with a good top team, you need to be comfortable in all aspects, in game, out of game, as a teammate, as a friend. So that's kind of something, especially with how the roster was going in Cold War, I could tell like he probably was like in and out of it, like tweaking, like not feeling safe with the spot. And like going into the Vanguard, I'm like, bro, I want this guy on the team. I want him on the team. We're getting him on the team. So yeah, I mean, like I said, as we've hung out more, I feel like I've taught him a lot. He's taught me a lot. I've made him more cultured. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Last two questions. Well, they're quick ones. Somebody Restripes asks, we know you hate Optic. How come you ain't try to be a villain? Who said I hate Optic? I just like playing against Optic because they have the biggest fan base, and I like, you know, disappointing people in a way of like, I beat your team, you're disappointed type thing. So I like being booed. I like being like the underdog, and that's pretty much it. So I don't hate Optic. And I don't care to be a villain. I just care to win. So if you want to see it as that, you can. And like I said before, I'm not here to sit there and do all the yapping. I'll let the game show. I'll let my game speak for myself. And that's pretty much it. Last question. Will you retire with LAT? The plan has always been and will be to retire here at LA Thieves or 100T. I feel like they showed me enough love. I've shown them enough love mutually that There's no other place I'd rather be, no other place I'd rather win for. And yeah, I'm so comfortable with everybody here that works here, even my teammates, just everyone. And I love everyone that works there. I love the compound. And yeah, I feel like this is a place I just want to keep winning for. So yeah, I hope I get to retire here at LAT. That's what the plan is. Thank you guys for watching. It was a pretty long Q&A. I hope I got to enough questions that I answered multiple questions. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know if I just said that, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment if you had any more questions. We have to do another one of these in the past. What am I saying? We have to do another one of these in the future. And so hopefully I get to do some. Hopefully I get to win again or do some more fun stuff to make y'all come up with some new questions. And yeah, overall, thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Once again, like and comment. Stay tuned for more content. I want to keep the YouTube going on. I'm trying to keep the content going on, but it's pretty hard. But one thing I will say is I will start vlogging soon. I finally am picking up my vlog camera, and I will be vlogging the majors because I feel like it's something you guys want to watch. I know you don't want to watch me play COD all the time, so let's have some fun, do some in real life stuff. And yeah, once again, thank you. Peace.